How do you support someone who's struggling with mental problems? We are only beginning to talk more openly about mental struggles, and there are still many, many misconceptions about it. And often that makes that people with the best intentions make the situation worse by trying to help. So here it's this video with a few do's and don'ts, so you can be here with the loved ones when they need you the most. Bonjour, Practical Dreamers, it's Claire from integrallyalive.com with practical body, mind, wisdom and tools to create balance in life and be free to be who you are, to do what you love and live how you want. And this podcast comes from a few days ago. I saw a post in a group from someone who I actually like the work she's doing, but this post felt just plain wrong to me. And she was writing, therapy, expensive, video that can cure depression, free, and sharing an uplifting video, you know, a song, kind of song like, let's party all through the weekend and we will feel fine. What's wrong with that? This is not about depression. That's what's wrong. This is absolutely not about depression. Depression is not cured by a silly video that makes you feel good on the spot. And actually, if you are struggling right now, and if you saw this kind of post and felt worse afterwards than before, you're normal. You're human. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just not, they're just mistaken. So I want to address a few things about that in this video, because she had the best intentions in mind, but she just made a very general assumption that was just not true. Depression is way beyond feeling blue and being uplifted by a silly video. So this video is for two kinds of people. Is for you, if you're struggling and want to help people around you help you better and be there for you. And it's for you if you know someone who's struggling and want to be there for them the best way you can. So what do's and don'ts? Well, first, when someone is struggling and tells you about it, don't assume you understand exactly what they are going through. So you know I know exactly how you feel. Well, don't do that because probably you don't, unless you've been through the same thing, which probably you haven't. So instead, ask questions and really listen. Ask, do you want to talk about it? Tell me more. What do you mean? Panic attack. What do you mean? Depression. What do you need? Blah, blah, blah. Ask questions. Be curious about it. Genuinely curious. Now, maybe you have an idea of, oh, you really should do that. That would be so much better for you. Like, watch a movie, watch a comedy, do yoga, do meditation. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? I'm doing this. It really worked for me. Don't. First off, sometimes all we need is someone to talk openly to, someone who will listen to everything we've got to say and not shy away. Second, chances are they already tried lots of things and know much more about you than you do, than you do. So my best advice would be actually no advice and absolutely not unsolicited advice. So if you really think you have an advice that could really help them, ask them first if it's okay to share. I think I could help you with that. I have an idea. Do you want to hear it? And if they say no, they said no, respect it. Be graceful about it. Now, really, again, my best advice is no advices. And if you really want to go that route, ask them instead. Again, be curious, ask questions. How can I help? What can I do to help you? Let them tell you what they need, not the other way around. And you might be surprised by the answer. Now it hurts. I know it so deeply. It hurts to see someone you love hurting. So you might want to do anything you can to cheer them up. It might not be a bad idea always, but there is a big but. Lots of time, people are doing worse than better by just, it's exactly the same example I just gave you in the intro of this video. Hey, look at this silly video and feel better. And they won't, most of the time, just because they watch a silly video or they won't get better. So most of the time it feels, and it actually is a lot of times, I'm sorry if it sounds harsh, but most of the times it comes from a place of, I don't want to hear that. I'm just deflecting with some humor so we can go somewhere else. So don't try to share them up. Don't say to them, well, you should do that. And you feel, even if you know it's true, if you just would do this tiny thing, you will feel so much better. Yeah, if they don't, if that's for them, it's not just that tiny thing. It's a bit more complicated than that. Or there are way much, there are worse things in the world than blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe, but right now, they're not in a place to feel that. So it will only make them worse. Or a lot of people are doing worse. Then again, maybe, but you got the thing. So instead, remind them that you are here for them and you are not judging them for feeling bad, for hurting, for being in that situation. You are acknowledging they are a human and they are hurting, and it's okay. That's what humans do sometimes. Now, with that, I have to add a few other things. I am always here for you. And it can go very wrong. Like, let me tell you another thing that happened really recently to a person I know, very close friend who has a cancer. And he got a phone call by a friend, very well-meaning person. And that was just scary. Oh God, are you okay? And that, my friend, actually my cousin who was this cancer, told me, whoa, thank God I was feeling good that day, because it would have made feel worse. But I was in a good place, so I could take it with a bit of humor and see that person was just not comfortable with that. And again, it was with the best intentions. And that's the whole point of this video. We really want to help. It's difficult. Let's admit it. It's difficult to see someone hurting. It's difficult to know what to do. So I'm always here for you. And it's also treat them like a normal person. And they might be dying and they might be feeling really bad, and they might represent something really difficult to face. They are still a normal person. So treat them like this. So instead of, are you okay? Ask them, well, I know you're going through difficult times. How are you feeling? How are you? How are you doing? Again, open questions. Let them tell you how they feel, how they are, eventually what they need. Now comes the, well, you might want to cheer them up anyway. In the treat them as a normal person, like something really hard when you're struggling long term is at some point it becomes all about your struggles. Every time someone sees you, they will be like, are you okay? How are you feeling? And sometimes you just want to talk about something else. And it's difficult, I know, because it's actually difficult for the person being in the struggle and the person wanting to help. You need to talk about this, but at the same time, you also need to not only talk about this, not talk only about this. So sometimes having a friend just making a joke with you feels really good when you're struggling, or just going for a walk or doing something together. So to sum it up, in all of it, I could go on with do's and don'ts, but these I feel are the most important. And the most important than any of these is actually the principle at the base of everything I just said. More important than everything you say is your intention, is your presence. From where, what place are you talking? Your intention says it louder than any words. And let's take just a tiny and very simple example. I am sorry. In my experience, I am sorry. I've seen it and heard it represent two main things. First, compassion. I'm sorry. I really care for you. And this situation is shit. I'm really sorry you have to go through it. I've heard also mean pity. Oh my God, I'm so scared by, I'm sorry. I'm so scared by what you're going through right now. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, and I actually would rather not hear about it because I'm afraid of it. So your intentions says it louder than any words, and your friend, or the person at the end of it, will hear it. Whatever you say, it will hear what you really feel. So what are you comfortable with? And what are you not comfortable with? And it's okay. It's absolutely okay not to be comfortable with death, with sickness, with hurting. It's absolutely okay, but be clear with it. Don't ask questions you don't want to hear the answer to. I know that one really well. If you know my story, my father died from suicide. He suicided. And I had a lot of people asking me, oh, how did your father die? And they didn't want to hear my answer. After a while, it was really clear for me. Actually, after a while, I could almost 100% tell if the person was okay with hearing my answer or not. And they didn't know, but I could feel it. So only ask questions you are okay with whatever the answer is. It's actually okay. And if you're not comfortable with what's going on, what your friend's sharing, be honest about it. Tell it. Admit to your friend, well, I don't know much about depression, panic attack, cancer, whatever they are going through. Ask them. Your friends, again, they will sense it anyway. So by being honest and telling, look, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what it is. Maybe even admitting I'm afraid of that. You're actually telling, I don't know how, but I want to be here for you. I care for you and I want to be here. That's what you're telling. So this is my advice for you. And if you're struggling and hard people around you, be clumsy and not be in that space of vulnerability and openness, saying, look, I don't know how, but I really want to be here for you. They probably had the best intentions. You really have to remember that. They just had a terrible execution. So maybe you were hurt by how they did it, but know that the intentions were really, really good most of the time. And remember that everyone has their fears. And we are not taught in our society how to deal with psychological pain at all, and even less with death. So help them. Be really clear and be really realistic with what you want and what you need. It will help them relax with you around. If you're hurting and you know how to get better, but you don't want an advice, tell this, and they can let them the choice to, and that might be difficult for you, but let them the choice of being there or not at that moment, meaning by if they don't have it in them at the moment, if they don't have the bandwidth to be with this pain, with this hurt, let them say no. Yeah, I know. It's easier said than done, but accept that not everyone is in a place of being a support, being a resource. Find other things to do with these friends. To end, and I really do hope it helps all of you. The most important thing is on either end of it is to really be clear on what you need, what you can and cannot do, and be open and vulnerable in sharing that. This is the most important thing you can do for anyone, for yourself and your friends. That was your weekly dose of fierce love. Very fierce this week. It's so much needed. I hope it helps. And if you know someone who needs to hear that, please give them the link and share this. If you're struggling right now and don't know how to tell your friends how to approach you, this could be a way to do this. Just send them the link and they will know what you mean. Thanks for being there. Hope you're okay. I love you dearly. And I send you my best wishes for today, this week, this crazy time. And I hope, boom, that this video make life just a little bit easier. And you know the gist, drop your comments, especially when I share this kind of stuff. It's conversation. It's not if it's just one way. So tell me what you think. Tell me how you felt. Tell me if you feel I missed something important and you would have, love to hear about this. Anything. I always reply. I love this conversation. Subscribe to get more. Spread the fierce love. Share to anyone who needs to hear that. And be tuned for the next video. Stay tuned. Until then, embody 100% you. Bye.